You ask yourself, do you have moral Christian values? Yeah. Did you have good intentions in a idea? Yeah. Since having those good intentions, do you just seem to find that you find people just crass and indifferent, even down to NHS care? Macmillan is full of shit. It's like, if you got something that is incurable, you can have palliative care. And you just say, okay, you can live with that because that particular thing is incurable. You can get into remission, but there's no guarantee it won't come back. That's bullshit. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I do know that if somebody's had a fracture in their body and they've got a progressive blood, whatever, it's bullshit. It's like multiple myeloma, I'm sure in some cases, especially if you got the infection after surgery as an elderly person, they'll probably just give you that condition just for, hey, yeah, why not? It's easy just to brush off so you don't sue. And that's what I particularly think is in my mum's case, because you've got osteobones. Osteobones are osteobones, and it's exactly the same effect as making holes in bones, so it's very convenient if you ask me. Anyway, I digress because I'm just pissed off because basically society is full of shit, and it's always been full of shit, and it's up to you to turn the page and start again. And certain demographics, I can't help but notice, they are just more militant, impoverished mindsets, cultist, like in your have to do this or join the armed forces or do this or do that, or if you're not working or signing on, they're really heavy and they actually come down like a ton of bricks, like you were just born to be on the farm and you're not following some sort of like overly groomed Waltons Ingalls, like, oh, I have to be of use, I have to be this, I have to be that. Like your identity and your sense of self-worth is all indoctrinated into this cultist mentality, and if you're not doing that, it's like, oh, you're just breaking and breaking and breaking. Like self-worth, self-confidence, self-importance, whatever, you give a fuck. The point is, it's like, you notice it more in a place like London. And I was watching Spaced for the second time round because for some reason it just reminds me of like a certain time and place. And yeah, just watching that and going like, I don't know what's wrong with people. You know, you can keep on calling me from a business centre as a totally random person that I don't even know, but it doesn't cut it. I've been with like 10 different supporting artist firms at one point. I expect an agent. I expect somebody to represent me and put me forward to talk to people in the public eye on a national daytime TV show, to put it into the psyches of people what you're supposed to be doing, because it seems to me that people just go along with the presentation even if it's actually a false front bullshit full of shit and isn't cutting it. And it's like the amount of alternative care. We got Amazon just like a river, all that stuff flowing to you, all that different know-how, and all I proposed was we have social worker engineers on the street as a presence in converted van vehicles, not just facilitating homelessness but actually people, like in my mum's case, it's like you just don't want to go back to the same hospital. I don't want her to go back to that in the eventuality that she might have to go in and get an x-ray or do anything. It's like I don't want them to get the dirty little mitts on her and go like, you must have your chemo, Pauline, because she's like literally a paying vampire, my mum. It's like, and it takes very many people to actually understand her that have lived with her their whole lives to know what her pain levels are. And they were just pumping her full of stuff, and it was just like I saw an inevitability that they were going to do something they shouldn't be doing. Whether she would be with us on another timeline is very highly debatable. But it's like, you know, if you had that on the street, you'd be like, yeah, there's other things you can do, we can pump more money into that. And I come across like even down to like people that can tailor back straightening exercises and stuff. And if you have more of a light shone on it and you're making content as it goes along, that's an incentive for some people to really get involved and start doing it. And like, you know, strengthen up your back muscles and show everybody and their mum that something like multiple myeloma is just a whole shit diagnosis, and you should just be getting bone fillers like Zometa and other stuff, and just doing that if you so choose. Not like, oh, you must have your immune system knocked out as a matter of course because 1 in 2 people. It's become so presumptuous and so like infringing on people's human rights, and it seems like I'm the only person that can tell the difference. It's like because people are that impoverished and they suffer from pain and they automatically think that that's it. Osteopain is excruciating. Exactly the same, I'm sure, as those who might suffer from multiple myeloma, they wouldn't know the difference. And if you've got a few fractures in your body, it's easy to say, oh, you're prone to fracturing. No, you've got this, you've got that. No. Osteo makes people prone to fracturing. It's been around forever and ever and a day. But now you've got that 1 in 2 culture and a bunch of bullshit, pretentious, phony people. To me, I'm not going to look at that and go, oh yeah, get involved in that kind of community that doesn't represent people that are more forward thinking, more advanced, and actually really get off on the fact that we live in the age of the internet. It's like you might want to just lack back on some great big entity that's just milking your very bones to death, but I don't. I would rather say power to the people and get Celestial Paul out there that actually has a wealth of information. As you know, when it comes to independent people, they have their own ways of dealing with anything, like an expert in rheumatoid, doctors that would never even touch their own pharma because they've learned exactly what the body finds inflammatory and they just avoid it. And it's just a thing of nature that is studious in individual cases, and every person is to be treated like an individual. But when it comes to our 1 in 2 culture, it's just treating people like a thing, just a piece of cattle to be milked. And if you don't, it's total neglect with my mum. It's like she needs bone infusions, but will they give it to her? No, it's like, have a face-to-face, next mum. Put it off. Talk to you about chemo. Even have Dr. Evil vampires come into the house, and it's like they come to see my dad's feet or something, and then it's like they come into the back room and talking to her about, let's look at you getting your chemo, Pauline. It's like, if you want to be turned off, do that. If you do your drone mentality stuff, do that. But I think I know better. I know when I'm having smoke blown up the arse in order just to milk a infrastructure and a cattle and and be at the hands of other people in poverty mindsets. No, just don't believe in it. I believe in that whole New Earth philosophies and the way that people were talking to me via coaches and other people. And if you put years of work into yourself, you deserve the success in order to bring it forward for other people that haven't got the time on their hands. Because actually what I've got is a luxury of actually having time on my hands, and I've been on paper a carer since whatever. I've been a carer for years, since 2022 at least. We're in the midst of them sanctioning me. That was when I was doing the most care. So it's like, society can do one outside the 4 walls. My boundaries are my boundaries, and I don't respect anybody for even thinking that they have any time or presidency over them in these times, because they really don't. I just have to go in case people put warrants out. And all you have to do is watch those American programs about police enforcements and warrants. It's like, in this country, they put a warrant out because apparently, supposedly, if you're to believe them, I sent a birthday card. Okay, if that's not a neo-Nazi state that's just LGBT hating and extremism, I don't know what is. To arrest someone on a beachfront in a different bar for a birthday card, even though they didn't follow professional procedure and give anybody a restraining order in the first place, so nothing was defined or anything else. So it's like, if I had the ability to sue them, I'd do that first. But I'm not taking my lion's mane ass over to Excel or to the Olympia to talk for nothing, or not talk propositions of actually giving me my money that I'm entitled to and due for all that gross misconduct in those unprofessional bodies via Met Police. Probably because other money taking an interest in myself long before that, having had a decade on film sets and everything else. Nobody approaches you in your hours of need. Do you think I'm going to feel any more love or extending to my society if you can't extend to my mum in her hour of need? No, you've left me under a Macmillan, a false front presentation that is just basically, what's the word? You are just profiteering off of somebody's misfortune or alcoholism, let's be honest. If people are falling over and giving themselves fractures in an elderly person, we just profiteer off that, make you subservient. You are just our slave. We won't give you bone infusions or any osteocare unless you agree to having your immune system raped and violated and offed, and die like Sam Neill a couple of months after you've got the remission tag, because you can't cure it anyway. You can only just make... And actually, the only question I asked was, how is it that if your blood shows no inflammatory markers, would you even know if there was any cancer present in the bone still? Wouldn't you have to do another biopsy still? Clearly that must have got him fraggled, because like I said, his eyes turned out like a guppy. You can tell when people are talking spiel, medical jargon and spiel, can't you? So fuck 'em. I know my truth, and I know what's true and what is not. And if you're on the boat of Celestial Paul, you'd better get on it fast, let's make the indie film about how it comes apart because it's fucking prime time, great little film. And when you put the prototype vehicle on the red carpet, and then get the tech giants and the intranet people that made the same intranets for the engineers for Sky to get involved, and then start like generating interest within the internet community, and get specialists and individually trained specialists in each disease that's available to man, all the alternative healthcare practitioners, and you're documenting things as you go along, you're making a whole abundant, thriving community. And I keep getting harassed and constantly harassed in one phone call from one person's voice. Don't do it unless you're going to put some money on the table and actually employ me and say, we've got you an agent. And they're bigger than Ray Knight, they're better than Ray Knight, they're the best in the business, Laura. We're going to be representing you. That's what I need, and I need it now. I needed it yesterday, but I need it to be respectfully done because I am actually a full-time carer. Not that anybody gives a fuck about that side of shit.